Welcome to the Now. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
I'm Mica Burton.
Move over, Marvel. Looks like you got some stiff competition headed your way from the world of video games.
Really? Do we trust that with a video game movie curse?
No. Well, someone is certainly trying to.
Well, yeah, and it's Activision. Activision's movie studio arm, Activision Blizzard Studios, has announced that they are gunning hard to create a Marvel-style cinematic universe out of everybody's favorite franchise, Call of Duty.
Can't wait to see the dislike ratio on the first teaser trailer for those movies.
But
So this report comes from The Guardian, who did a sit-down with Activision Blizzard studio presidents Stacey Sher and Nick Van Dyke, who are working on a cinematic universe based on Call of Duty to rival the work we've already seen from Hollywood powerhouse Disney.
According to the executives, the studio already has several scripts written for the Call of Duty-verse, with the first film possibly hitting as early as 2018.
You're no doubt asking yourself how a cinematic universe based around wars from different time periods is even supposed to function on a practical level and how it's all supposed to connect. It's not like they're gonna have an Avengers-type team-up with Marines traveling across time and space, right?
Unless they call on Doctor Who.
Maybe this can all be based in zombies.
Ooh, zombies.
Call of Duty Zombies is now an entire cinematic universe.
I love it. Well, the studio sort of has an answer for that.
I like my answer better.
Other than zombies, the Call of Duty movies are apparently going to focus on both themes seen in Black Ops and Modern Warfare.
No Infinite Warfare? That's everyone's favorite.
No space.
Weird. Okay. Co-President Sher said about how the film universe will tie those two properties together. We have plotted out many years. We put together this group of writers to talk about where we're going.
She went on to say, there will be a film that feels more like Black Ops, the story behind the story. The Modern Warfare series looks at what it's like to fight a war with the eyes of the world on you, and then maybe something that is more of a hybrid, where you're looking at a private, covert operations while a public operation is going on.
So, if you're one of the few people hoping for a super faithful adaptation of the tales of Ghost, Soap, and whoever the main characters of any of the other games are, sounds like you are out of luck. Rather than adapting the games as they are, they'll be borrowing the idea of secretive Black Ops missions and setting them in the modern times along Modern Warfare type plots.
So like Black Hawk Down, but not?
Ish.
Alright.
But hopefully printing all the money.
All of the money! Co-President Van Dyke talked a little bit more about the tone of the movies and how they compare to the game, saying, it's going to have the same sort of high adrenaline, high energy aesthetic as the game, but it's not a literal adaptation. It's a much more broad and inclusive, global in scope, a big tentpole Marvel-esque movie. They love saying Marvel-esque.
I'm just picturing the Expendables, to be perfectly honest.
Oh!
Right?
Yeah!
There we go.
I'm good
there
with that.
There we go. What if you just rebrand all the Expendables movies?
You're already halfway there. Take our advice.
Look, if all that sounds kind of ridiculous on the surface, you're probably not the only one thinking that, but both of these presidents leading Activision Blizzard Studios actually, we make fun, but they do have quite a pedigree when it comes to previous films they've helped develop. Cher, for instance, worked on Tarantino films like Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained, Hateful Eight, so that's cool.
What? Also, meanwhile, Van Dyke was a former senior executive at Disney and apparently played a big part in Disney nabbing the rights to both Marvel and Star Wars film franchises. So these people do know what they're doing in terms of making movies and building out brands. But Call of Duty seems like a bit of a stretch for the big cinematic universe, especially if they want it to be like Marvel.
Here's the thing. They probably were looking at that chart of all of the IPs that the millennials think are real cool.
Oh, right.
And they were like, let's see, can't get that one. Nope, nope. Maybe Call of Duty. Lots of people, millions of people buy those games. If those millions of people also go to our movie, then we have a start, because let's face it, you have to have a lot of people going to movies to make the same you do as video games.
Oh yeah.
But they're at least making some of the right comments, at least. Let's give them some credit there. In particular, the pair believes that the big success of the Marvel movies is in their focus on stories and characters. Cher said, if you look at Marvel, they started working when you had Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man and real filmmakers on board as well. What I think made the Avengers so great was the writing and directing. You cared about those characters.
All right, I'm feeling that.
So nothing like any Call of Duty game ever.
Nope, but she went on to say, if you just chase the empty blockbuster and have nothing to say in the genre, forget about it.
Which is kind of funny, considering many people feel Call of Duty games are the quintessentially empty blockbusters when it comes to the AAA video games. There's a lot of shooting, there's a lot of explosions, both of which I hope to see a whole bunch of in these movies, let's be clear. And then like someone will die and you'll be like, what's that guy's name? And then you like move on and
then you go home.
Forget the hero's name.
But it was either this or CSGO according to millennials, so they really didn't have a big pool to choose from.
There were guns involved either way.
True! And as out of the blue as all of this might seem, video game publishers targeting huge interconnected universes is quickly becoming the norm. Ubisoft kicked off its own film division to adapt a number of properties like last year's Assassin's Creed, plus upcoming films about the Rabbids, Far Cry, Splinter Cell, and even The Division. Activision
Blizzard Studio was first announced back in 2015, which is when they first indicated they'd be pursuing a push to send Call of Duty to the big screen. That announcement came at BlizzCon 2015, right alongside the release of the trailer for Activision's most recent attempt at a summer blockbuster, the Warcraft movie.
And an attempt it was, because unfortunately, that one didn't go over so well.
Well, not domestically, but internationally.
Internationally, it was quite fine. Warcraft was kind of a mixed story of success and failure. Yes, it's the highest grossing video game movie of all time, and like you said, it did well internationally, but oh boy howdy did it flop a big way here in the States, where it only brought in $47 million in total.
Yeah, that's like one day of a Marvel movie premiere. However, Warcraft did make back its budget of $160 million with a total gross of around $430 million.
Yeah.
Thanks China, I think.
It
was
China?
Huge in China.
So the thing is, the Warcraft franchise was licensed out to Legendary Pictures, so it wasn't technically the first proper entry into Activision Blizzard Studios' portfolio, since that's a new studio devoted entirely to Activision's projects in the same vein as Marvel Studios.
Right, like X-Men or Fantastic Four or all that, like those, they're Marvel properties, not Marvel movies. The honors of Activision Blizzard's first foray into movies and stuff actually belongs to the Skylanders Academy TV series, which...
What?
Yeah, it's actually doing really well on Netflix, believe it or not. The show's second season is debuting later this year, and Netflix has already greenlit a third season order for 2018 before it's even come out. Never underestimate the power of the kids. You've seen those toy unboxing videos on YouTube that have hundreds of millions of views? There's lots of kids, and they all have eyeballs. Well, most of them have eyeballs.
Hopefully most of them have eyeballs.
In an ideal world, they all have eyeballs.
Shout out to Skylanders. According to the interview in The Guardian, the other potential movie projects from Activision Blizzard include StarCraft.
Yes, please.
And even some old school Activision properties like Pitfall.
Okay.
Interesting, and considering the huge amount of IPs in their toolkit, the potential for others is fairly high. Overwatch or Destiny, and Guitar Hero?
Yes, it's gonna be called, we're gonna call it Almost Famous. There are a lot of people who will no doubt scoff at all this talk of a Call of Duty film universe, understandably, but if there's any video game property that could make a mainstream crossover, it could be Call of Duty. Well, GTA or Call of Duty.
While the Call of Duty games do have single-player campaigns, these stories and universes aren't quite so concrete that straight film adaptation would rub fans the wrong way. We saw that happen with the very early development of the Uncharted film, when former director David O. Russell talked about turning Nathan Drake into something of a mob family adventurer.
Plus, like it or not, Call of Duty sales every year are so absurd. Everyone wants to be a Call of Duty failure. The potential audience there is massive. Then again, that should also have been the case with the Assassin's Creed film, and that one didn't do so hot in the box office either.
So we'll just have to keep our eyes out for the Call of Duty Avengers and how Activision plans on making this whole thing work.
Here's the thing, there's gonna be a time traveler, and he's gonna go take the heroes from every era, and they're gonna fight aliens? I mean, if you're gonna get heroes from like different eras to like fight people.
It's not in space, remember?
No, but everyone loves space.
But they said there's not gonna be infinite warfare in there. It's gonna be zombies, like you said.
Maybe, oh, okay, yeah. So you get warriors. Warriors from every era. What do you guys think of Activision going after Marvel with their own Call of Duty movie universe? Let us know in the comments.
For future updates on whatever the heck is going on with the Call of Duty movies, also the Call of Duty franchise in general, remember to like this video and subscribe to the know.
We talk about the games sometimes here.
Sometimes. So Activision's Movio.
So if you're one of the few people hoping for a super faithful adaptation of the Tales of Ghost Soap, what?
Ghost Soap?
Ghost Soap. Oh, that's the name of a character.
Yeah. Oh, it's more of a broad and inclusive global in scope. Wait, what? Broad and inclusive?
It's a much more broad.